Hello everyone, my name is Sania Masood and I'm a second year student of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. I'm not here as an expert, I'm not here as a researcher, I'm here as someone who is learning this field every single day and slowly realizing how deeply it is shaping us. What I'm about to share isn't from a textbook, it's not from a lab, it's from everyday life, from conversations, from patterns we started noticing. But what I'm about to share isn't from a textbook, it's not from a lab, it's from everyday life. Before I begin, I want to say something. What I'm about to say isn't from a textbook. I'm slightly nervous to say this out loud because once you notice it, you can't unnotice it, and life becomes a little uncomfortable. A few months ago, my friends and I were planning to buy skincare products. Again, no searches, just conversation. The very next day, one of my friends started getting ads from a very famous skincare brand. Again, another day, my siblings and I were planning to buy a famous shoe brand. But again, no searches, just conversation. The very next day, my friends started getting ads for that exact brand. No pause here. I don't want to argue about whether our phones were listening. That's not the point. The point is this: why did it feel believable that they might be? Think about it. Why does it not sound crazy anymore? 10 years ago, this would have sounded like paranoia, but today it sounds like experience, and that's where the real story begins. Not with technology, but with trust. We grew up believing technology was neutral, a tool, something that responds only when we ask. But somewhere along the way, technology stopped waiting for instructions. It started anticipating us. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your phone doesn't need your permission to know what you're likely to want next, because you've already trained it. Every pause, every linger, every video you didn't skip. Algorithms don't listen to your conversation. They listen to your patterns, and patterns don't lie. Here's something most people don't realize. We don't live in an attention economy anymore. We live in a prediction economy. Most valuable thing technology companies sell is not ads, it's certainty. Certainty about what you'll click, what you'll buy, who you'll believe, even how you'll feel tomorrow morning. When a system can predict human behavior at scale, it doesn't need to control people. It just needs to shape probabilities. And this is already happening. Streaming platforms don't ask, what do you want to watch? They ask, what will keep you from leaving? News feeds don't prioritize truth. They prioritize retention. And when engagement becomes the goal, emotion becomes a tool. Let me ask you something and answer this silently. How many times have you seen the same product, the same lifestyle, the same idea before you finally thought, maybe I should buy this? Once or 20 times. Repetition is powerful. Not because it convinces you aggressively, but because it makes the unfamiliar feel normal and the normal feel necessary. This is how influence works now, not by force, by familiarity. Here's something uncomfortable I want to say. Here's something uncomfortable I want to say. The more attention, the more valuable things we have is our attention. News feeds don't prioritize truth, they prioritize retention. The longer you stay, the more predictable you become. There have been real experiments where platforms change what people saw and quietly observed their mood shift. A little more positivity made people feel better. A little more negativity made people post more negativity. Now pause again. If a system can influence how millions of people can feel on a random Tuesday morning without touching them, how neutral is that technology? Platforms test thousands of variations of color, wording, timing, and tone to see what makes you stay longer. Not happier, just longer. Because the longer you stay, the more predictable you become. Here's something we've been not noticing, that we go through lots of promotions and ads, but it's certainty about what you'll click, what you'll buy, who you'll believe, even how you'll feel tomorrow morning. When a system can predict human behavior at scale, it doesn't need to control people. When emotion becomes a tool, the engagement becomes the goal, emotion becomes a tool. Here's something most people don't realize. We don't live in an attention economy anymore. We live in a prediction economy. So what I realized about myself is it wasn't a proud moment. I wasn't using my phone to learn more. I was using it to feel less uncertain, less bored, less alone with my thoughts. The technology rewarded that every time. Technology doesn't just want your time, it wants your continuity. As long as you stay, it makes you stay longer. As long as you stay, it makes you more connected to it. The time you invest, the more connected you become to it. This is what I would ask you to remember. The most predictable thing that we have is our attention. The most valuable thing technology companies sell is not ads, it's certainty. Certainty about what you'll click, what you'll buy, who you'll believe, even how you'll feel tomorrow morning. Newsfeeds don't prioritize truth, they prioritize retention. Emotion becomes a tool. So the next time you feel more comfortable, so what do? We don't throw our phones away, we don't demonize technology because the algorithms are powerful, but they are not wise. They optimize for behavior, not scale. They optimize for behavior, not meaning, and the meaning still belongs to us. So if this were my last speech, this is what I would ask you to remember. You don't lose control all at once, you lose it gradually. The moment you start asking, why am I doing this? Why does it feel comfortable? Why does it feel familiar? The system weakens. The awareness interrupts conditioning. Technology will keep getting smarter. That's inevitable. Whether we become more conscious, that's undecided. But the most powerful act we need to do is to notice what we are doing. And the next time you see what you are going through, you need to notice what you are doing. So don't pause. So don't overreact. Don't panic. Just pause. That pause is still human. Thank you very much.